Okay, good morning everybody. It is the next day. So agonized some more over dimensions. Found a great article from 2016 on Airgun Guild where Motorhead Scott and Bob Stern hold a discussion about plenum size. And boy, the details of how to calculate air usage are so complicated. Of course, it is a really fun aspect of our hobby, but the dwell time of the valve, the pressure in the plenum space, the volume of air in the plenum space, the volume of expanding air in the barrel and the length of the barrel, the acceleration period of the pellet. Boy, these guys that are really super knowledgeable on this and that have a lot of experience and have done lots of experiments, my hat is off to them. I am not going to spend that kind of time and mental bandwidth to try to understand all that. All I can do is my takeaway from that article and others that I've read, but that really was the best one I found yet, is that basically 1 cubic centimeter per foot-pound of energy seems like a sweet spot to be. As you get down to half a cubic centimeter per foot-pound of energy, the pressure in the plenum space needs to go up. And as you go beyond 1.5 cubic centimeters per foot-pound of energy, efficiency goes down really rather dramatically. So I'm going to stick with the 1 cubic centimeter per foot-pound of energy. With the OD that I ended up here that fits in the tube, if I allow for a 1/16 inch wall, now I couldn't find any information about how thin a wall you could have. If 110 bar, I think that's like 1650 psi of air in the plenum side, 3200 psi in the high pressure side of the tube. That makes for about 1550, I guess, 1600 psi of pressure pushing down on the plenum. That seems pretty insane to be so thin, but if the plenum is a very close fit to the wall of the air cylinder, it seems like it can't really collapse. I hope. I have made some pretty thin wall plenums before for a couple other guns, and they didn't collapse or have problems. I couldn't find any discussion online about how thin you can go. I was even thinking maybe the ideal situation would be like just a couple of bars rather than a round ring, but maybe not. Those would probably collapse. Anyway, I'm going to give a try for a 1/16 inch wall. 0.062. This first one I made is just a tiny bit smaller than that. But if I go with a 1/16 inch wall, and when I'm working in a machine shop, things should be decimals, so maybe 0.06, 0.07, some nice number by tenths rather than fraction. But I'm not too accurate on my work here, so we'll end up with 0.06, 0.07, somewhere around there. But anyway, with 1/16 inch wall, that comes out with 32.3 cubic centimeters of total regulated air volume, including the what's in the block. And that's right. The heaviest pellet I could foresee using this gun would be needing 33 foot-pounds of energy. So 32 cc's of regulated air chamber space seems just about right. So I was thinking I could make this a tad bit longer and get a tad bit more air. I do have 0.42 inches of room that I could, make another plenum that is as much as half of, if I put the hole in the middle with this size plenum, then I could go as much as 0.21 inches longer with the plenum, or shorter as the case may be. Which I had previously calculated out how much extra air that would be, but I'm just going to go with 1 inch, and let's just see what the performance is. I've done enough agonizing over this, so here we go. I got to change this up, and I'm going to turn the camera back on in a minute. Okay, so I decided to face this off before parting it off. That wasn't cutting much. Oh, I can't wait to clean the lathe. All this swarf gives me stress. I like clean tools. We got it set for kind of a modest cut, not the finest possible cut. And I gotta remember and check my speed for parting. Okay, beautiful. And now I want to put a tiny chamfer on it. Yeah, I'll use this cutter. Take it out of gear. Okay, there's just, I just don't want to remove much material, but yeah, that's good. And that's all it needed. Okie dokie. So to part off, I like to just run the parting tool. Oh, here. It's this. So I like to run it up flush to the end of the work so that it's perpendicular. There we go. And I'm going to run this up and feel that it's flush to the end here. Like that. And then we're going to use the, oh, let me show you what I'm doing. Up here, 0, and then move this along 1 inch. I don't know if you can read those numbers. There's 1 inch, and actually I'm going to face the other end, so let's give it 25 thou here, maybe just a little more. Give it 30 thou to allow for some roughness to occur and face it off. Okay, I'm going to lock the carriage in place so it doesn't tend to move. This tends to be kind of a very forceful operation. We are tight. We're going to use kerosene, which I better refill the bucket. And this is just, oh, let me lower this back down again. This is just from the hardware store. I heat my house with kerosene. I think the stuff you buy for the heater isn't as clean as the stuff from Ace Hardware. Okay, I just want to do a double check. Measure twice, make part once. Okay, so let's just double check here. Yep, got about 40 thou extra there. Okay, that's cool. And ears, because sometimes these squeal. Here we go. Oh, I wanted to check the speed. Yeah. Trying to see if you can see what's going on there. I have a very little viewfinder on the camera. Oh, hold on. Nice curls coming off. I like pretty swarf. See that 3 times fast. Nice curls. Alright, that came out beautiful. So next we're going to take, it's a little warm, this out. We're going to chuck up this. We're going to face the end I just parted off until we get our 1-inch final length. Then we're going to center drill it. Then we're going to step drill up, and then we're going to use a boring bar to get the finished dimension. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, swapped out the part, getting ready to do, and swapped out the tooling, getting ready to do the facing operation. So I'm going to put the back gears down so the cross slide goes away. I have a cheat sheet up here on the wall to remind me which way things go. And need to adjust that. And then this gear, can you see it? Yep, this is a reverse mnemonic. It goes down towards the apron in order to engage the cross slide. And if it doesn't go into gear, then you operate the cross slide until it goes in nice. And we're going to use this modest cut, and here we go. And then the other thing I like to remind myself is that when I engage the clutch, I'm going to be watching that this handle is rotating this way. It's just the final double check that the right thing's happening. I didn't get a run in this morning. Last night at the gym I got a kink in my right foot. Tried to power through it. It became more like an injury. And I headed out this morning to try to do a run, and I only got a few hundred yards, and it was like, this is going to be an injury again. It's going to need a day or two to heal, darn it. I should have taken a bigger cut. Oh, and turned up the speed. This is going to take forever. Let's just do that right now. That's better. Well, I took a very slight cut. Actually, I don't even think it's cutting right now, because I wanted to get rid of that little thing poking out in the middle. There always is that little piece from parting off. Alright, there we go. So now, let's see, how much do we got to take off here? Uh, 25 thou. Which basically is very little. We'll just make a little cut. Maybe a little bigger than that. It looks like about 5 thou. Oh well. You do another little cut. This doesn't need to be perfect, but when I report on the performance, it'd be nice to know exactly what the numbers are. I think this will probably do it. And then I guess I can get set up for center drilling. Okay, I am happy. So, we can get the cutter out of there. And we are center drilling maniacs. I might turn the speed down. Let's see how it cuts. Center drilling is always hard. Any operation that requires the point of a drill to do work is slow. Once you get a hole down the middle so the outer edges of the drill can do the cutting, it goes a lot faster. Oh, I can't wait to use the boring bar. That is always fun. Hello. Let's take it out of gear. Listening to the beautiful sound of those gears run, but taking unnecessary life out of them. Or taking life out of them unnecessarily. Their life is necessary. Yeah, I like this speed. We're cutting. This is the third plenum I've made. First one I changed my mind, was too short. Second one was too large diameter, didn't fit in the neck down section inside the tube, which I didn't know existed. Now, this one should be perfect. I hope so. I can't wait to shoot this gun. I've had it for months. Did shoot it briefly with the factory regulator and realized I did not like the factory regulator. Sometimes when you make when you design things around too many parameters, it doesn't do very well at any of them. So they made the regulator be sideways adjustable so you could adjust the regulator without taking it out of the gun, and that is cool. But the thing was the teeny tiniest Belleville washers, and I did not find it to be consistent. Maybe there are other factors at play, but I've used the Robert Lane regulators and other modest, lowish powered applications. He uses a coil spring for lower powered regulators. And I like that concept over using Belleville's. change up to the next size center drill. And we'll see how I like this rotational speed. It's a little fast. We're cutting. I rather like the idea of this project not taking all day. And once the point of the cutter gets into material, it slows down. Now, one end of this cutter is a little sharper than the other end, so we'll see how it goes. We're making chips, actually curls, better than chips. I think I'll do is switch up, do the 1/4 inch drill bit, and then come back and finish with this tool. Maybe that'll speed it up because we got enough of a chamfer right now. Do a 1/4 inch. I can feel resistance as it stops cutting. Getting a nice curl there on one side. The other side's not cutting. There's a nice curl. But only one side's cutting. It's okay. It is. I like to keep the tailstock well lubricated. So I can just spin the handle. Alright, hold on. Apparently I gotta talk on the phone.